Good evening, this is Enid Lapellis. Today is December 21st, and the time is 6:02. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please allow me to confirm the presence of those town council members and any other staff or anticipated participants. So Dee Dee?
Present.
Jen Aguilar? We know she's going to be late.
Exactly.
Jason?
Present.
Jason? Terry? No Terry yet. John?
Jonathan Formicella, present.
Tony Scott?
Tony Scott here.
Sean?
John O'Rourke here.
Justin? No Kevin. So I believe we don't have John, we don't have Jen, we don't have Terry, and we don't have Kevin Reed as of this moment. Okay? So there's like 6 of us will be voting when, or whatever, consensus. Now, in terms of what we're doing, according to Town of Monroe has selected GoToMeeting as the preferred technology application to conduct this remote public meeting in compliance with Executive Order number 7B. This technology will permit up to 250 members of the public to participate in real time in the public meeting via computer, tablet, smartphone, or telephone via the access information set forth on this meeting agenda. It is highly recommended that any interested participant download and utilize the GoToMeeting software application. Let's see. Any members of the public who have desire to submit written information relative to the business set forth on the agenda may do so up to 1 hour in advance of the meeting via electronic mail to the address set forth on this meeting agenda. Notice is hereby given that this remote electronic public meeting shall, 1, permit the public to view or listen anonymously, and we're permitted to participate in real time. 2, be recorded and posted to the town's website within 7 days. 3, be made available to the public within a reasonable time. In addition to the standard parliamentary procedure as outlined in the agenda, the following special rules shall apply to all participants. Please mute your microphone so that it reduces background noise. Prior to speaking on each occasion, each speaker shall clearly state their name and title for the record. Their use of chat features are prohibited and will not be considered during the meeting as planned. So going on, we have free communication. There's no consent calendar for communication. We have just letter A. And so for public participation, do we see anybody, Mr. Kellogg? Do we see anybody for public participation?
Madam Chair, if you would just indulge me before going to that item, just ask Mr. Manjo to take a roll call attendance for Board of Finance.
Yep, thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, this is Mike Banjos, Chairman of the Board of Finance. I'll just call up my board, John Oshevsky. See John on there. Rebecca O'Donnell.
Here.
Dane Krzyzewski.
Here.
Steve Kirsch.
Here.
And Donaldin Wells. I don't see Don on there. Okay. Back to you, Nina.
Okay. Yep. And Mr. Kellogg, do we see any public participation?
Yeah, on behalf of the chair, First Selectman Kellogg speaking. Anyone from the public who would like to speak during this public participation session, please unmute yourself and indicate a desire to speak. And if necessary, we will create a list for the chair. Please remember to unmute yourself at this time. Madam Chair, I'm seeing or hearing no one indicating a desire to speak.
Okay, so our
Madam
next
Chair?
business is,
Madam Chair?
yes,
Jen
Yep.
Aguilar is here. Sorry, I was late.
okay, thank you. So our new business is A, tax deadlines and collection efforts for January 1st, 2021 tax bills pursuant to Governor's Executive Order 9R. So, Mr. Kellogg, you'll take the meeting over.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Be happy to introduce this item. First, I want to thank the council and the Board of Finance for putting this special meeting together on my request. I know it was short notice. However, we were notified of this executive order that came out late last week from the governor's office, which effectively repeats the same provisions that were in effect for the July tax payments, basically reinstituting the deferment and or low interest programs that were offered at that time. The order does not require any specific action of either body if the town chooses to remain in the same program as we were in July, which, as you'll all recall, was the low interest program. If, on the other hand, there was some change desired, it would require a new resolution of the council. There is no action required by the Board of Finance. However, I know the last time we did this, I certainly wanted the advice of our Board of Finance members. I'm sure this council does as well. Given the time was a little bit short between this order coming out and our needing to ensure that we have our decision in place, and more importantly, so that Tax Collector Deb Heim can publish the required statutory notices, which need to go out immediately. We wanted to ensure that we were all in alignment and confirmation of what the program would be. So in that regard, it's why I asked for the joint meeting. My recommendation, Madam Chair, or I should say both chairs, with your permission, would be that I would ask that Chairman Manjos maybe start us off and ask that the Board of Finance provide their input. I mean, I would think that perhaps the analysis in this regard might be very similar, if not identical, to July, but I still think it's important that that conversation occur. I would want the Board of Finance to weigh in, and I would recommend that after that occur, can certainly go over to the council members and understand what their feelings are on the topic. Again, a simple consensus of council is all that's needed if we want to stay with the low interest program. If the other program is being considered, it will require a vote of the council. So with that, and I guess with your permission, Madam Chair, if you're comfortable with that with that plan, I would ask that you let us turn the floor over to Chairman Manjos.
Fine with me.
Perfect.
So go ahead, Mr. Manjos.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ken. Again, just to recap everything Ken said, basically, the governor has decided to reinstate the program that we had back in July, with the being an option of which program we participate in. The analysis, while we didn't have a time, because this was a late notice, to do any kind of an updated cash flow, the analysis is going to be almost identical to where we were in July. Obviously, if everybody deferred, it would put strain on the town. The only additional change is about a month ago, we did make a fairly substantial investment in some of our cash on advice of the treasurer, and we committed about $15 million to laddered CDs, knowing we had the cash flow to handle that. So certainly we can ask any questions, we can take any bodies, but from my standpoint, I'm of the same opinion I was 6 months ago. While I understand the need for some of this, we did not have a very high participation rate or terrible request. I think the interesting part is because of the strength of the real estate market, I think people have been paying their mortgages, paying their taxes. It's pretty, not that it's a normal situation by any means, But financially, most people have managed to stay above water and seem to be normalizing their payments. I'm happy to redo the low interest rate program for the people who do have the need, but I certainly would not recommend the deferment program, as it could put strains on the town, and we still have a lot of unknowns over the next few months until things settle down, hopefully once and for all. So short and sweet. I'm certainly happy to open it up to anybody else on my side. I know, Steve, you had some comments you had sent over to Deb. I don't know if you want to go first.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Steve Kirsch, Board of Finance. With the time being short, I had sent an email over the weekend to our tax collector to try to understand what the impacts have been, what the participation has been in the program in July. Her response, and she's certainly here to add more, was that we've had very few people take advantage of it, but some did. In general, in terms of overall, people have been paying on time. The monies in escrow coming from the banks have been paid on time. Our collections, which are reported to the Board of Finance monthly, compared to the prior years, are right in the same level in terms of the percent collected. And the percent against the budget has actually been a little bit higher, and that's because we made some adjustments for this budget. And so if collections continue to come in at essentially the same rate, we're doing very good and very healthy. There have not been a lot of taxpayers needing assistance. Having said all that, I think that the program that we were in July still makes sense. I also agree with the chair's position that we've committed some cash to CDs for the purpose of earning some additional interest, because as everybody knows, general interest rates are almost zero or below zero. So it was a wise decision for the town, and as such, keeping the program we have now as rather than adding the deferment program is the way I would go at this time. Thank you.
Mike, I think you were muted.
Good point. It's late in the day. Rebecca, anything you want to add?
Yeah, hi, Rebecca O'Donnell, Board of Finance. I would just say that based on the data collected and the analysis from that we get from the treasurer and the tax collector on a monthly basis, like there's no indicators that a deferment program is necessary at this time. And I'm in favor to continue the low interest program.
Do you want to listen to what people are saying from the Board of Finance? They're going to go with the same program as last July.
Okay. Thanks, Rebecca.
Everyone's paying, everyone's fine with it, unless you want to listen.
Enid, you're not muted.
Oh, I know. I'm just asking Ralph if he wanted to listen, but he has confidence in you and me. So anyway, that's where I was walking in. So are you through with the Board of Finance? Then I'll start with the town council.
We got one or two
No,
more.
I think
Dane,
Mike's
I want
got
to
some more.
Okay,
Dane,
thank you.
There he is.
This is Dane Kirknandy. I'm in agreement.
Quick and painless. I love it. I don't know if John was on or not, but I don't think he was. I think that's all we've got. We'll turn it back over to you, Enid.
Okay, so let's go town council. Dee Dee, you'll be first.
Yeah, I talked to Steve Kirsch in the last couple of days, and who helped clarify things for me. I think I would be in agreement that we would continue on the road that we were on before. Any questions that I had, he was able to answer for me, so I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Jen Aguilar.
No
Jen?
questions, no questions. I'm in agreement with the group in that we should not do the deferral and do the low interest.
Okay, thank you. Jason?
I also concur with what's been said here. I think we've seen that if anybody is taking advantage of this, it's a very small number. And I have not heard anything from either the Board of Finance or from the public asking for any sort of deferral program or anything along those lines. So I don't see the need to change what we've been doing, which seems to be working fine for the town and seems to be working fine for all of our constituents.
Okay, thank you. Did Terry, is Terry on now? Terry there? No. So we'll go on to John Formicella.
This is John Formicella. I'm in agreement with everyone. The low interest program's the best option for the town. I am happy to hear that not too many members of our community have opted into that program during the summer. But as of right now, given the governor's orders, the low interest program is the best option.
Thank you. Tony Scott?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Jonathan there. I echo those sentiments, and I'm aligned to keeping it as we have it currently.
Okay. Sean O'Rourke?
Sean O'Rourke, I defer with the Board of Finance's opinion that the low interest plan is the way to go.
Thank you. Now, did Kevin Reed come on yet? Kevin there? So I concur with the rest of the people. So just in case the town council clerk needs to know, the people absent are Terry Rooney and Kevin Reed. Okay. So, Mr. Kellogg, I think we have consensus. Everybody in the council is consenting with the interest payment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ken Kellogg speaking. I believe that the council members present are on the record. I believe as long as the council clerk ensures that the council members' thoughts are recorded in the minutes, I believe that will satisfy this for the meeting. Attorney Lito, I would ask just to confirm that. And with that, if that's the case, we can adjourn. Mr. Lito?
Yeah, I concur with you, First Select. I don't think action is required by the legislative authority if the intent is to keep the plan that's already in place current, and that's been the consent as far as the record is concerned. So I don't think any further action is necessary.
So the meeting is going to adjourn at 6:20 p.m. Everybody
Be well, everybody. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Happy
everybody.
Happy holidays,
Happy
everyone.
holidays, everybody.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.